8 of Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. We are having our special guest. Joining us on the screen today, we have the director of Porsche Motorsport Sales, Michael Dreiser. Hi, Michael.
Hey. Hi, everybody.
Michael, the atmosphere here is absolutely electric. And globally speaking, how does it feel to see the passion for Asian motorsport at a street circuit like this?
I have to say, first of all, really big congratulations to the organizers to ramping up such a show. 10 consecutive years here now for Porsche Carrera Cup. It's absolutely, I mean, look around. It's absolutely amazing. There's so much vibe. There's so much vibrant electricity here. It's second to none. I'm really amazed. It's the very first time for me here, and I'm really blown away.
Wow, and you know, like, it's very exciting to see how Porsche customer racing is thriving worldwide. So I'm sure it must be very crucial, you know, Asia Pacific region. How crucial is it to the Porsche's global motorsport development?
As you know, I mean, customer racing, this is what we are all about. Porsche and racing is connected in a very, like a DNA way. And for us, it's very important that we share this DNA, that we share the passion of what we have with all the people around us, and that we, you know, experience together the sport with what we love and the sport that our brand stands for.
Yes, let's enjoy this race weekend together. Thank you so much, Michael. And we will pass it back to our commentators.
A busy weekend for the team supporting Porsche customer racing. Lots of GT3 cars out there in action, alongside the contingent of Cup cars ready to go here in the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. Let's talk about the weather. Slightly cooler than yesterday, 30 degrees Celsius as opposed to 32, so not much respite there, but just 10% chance of rain. And you can see plenty of sunshine gracing the sky. That will mean track temperature likely to be fairly high. It's closing in on 1:30 in the afternoon local time. And our Michelin track temperature, a scorching 44 degrees Celsius. If memory serves, that's a good 10 degrees Celsius. Warmer than what we saw yesterday. And Mr. Bibendum sat there next to Marcus Amond, our Michelin pole sitter. Must be sweltering. This Bangsaen street circuit, though, opened, I say opened in quotes, in 2007. We first raced here back in 2017. The 20 turns have a couple of passing opportunities. Turns 1 and 2, the run down into turn 8, and then the last corner as well, which is where we saw plenty of pressure being applied. At the start, we saw Niki Bazlan struggle, not the only driver to struggle to fire off the line and up towards turn 1. But then the bumpy run out of that opening corner into the no passing zone at turn 6, the Porsche hairpin. Double waved yellows, almost Macau-esque in its nature. That's the track, the challenge that the drivers have. They've already seen it yesterday, but they've learned a lot. Let's see what Steve's able to figure out down on our grid walk.
Well, you, me, and the Michelin person should all know that this is a very important race for Marcus Amond. You might be forgiven for thinking that he's got the whole Drivers' Championship sewn up. Well, I can tell you that's not the case, because he will not be available for Sepang, where there are 3 races available to pick up points. Marcus Amond won't be getting any points there, so he has to make hay quite literally while the sun shines on us today. He did get the win yesterday, and that was critical. He's on pole position today, and that means he's got an excellent chance of getting the double. Marcus, how are you feeling? Because you're on pole and you really need to rack up points, given that you're not going to be in Sepang next time.
All good. Just happy to be in pole position. I think it's the best place to be, even more on a street track like this, where it's really hard to overtake. So it's just about getting a good start and staying in front the whole race.
Once you got ahead of Naqib yesterday, it seemed quite comfortable. Is that the case?
Yeah, I was quite comfortable. Of course, it's really hard to find the right spot about really pushing hard and not pushing enough, you know, because you can lose focus. And just finding that right spot and just be consistent the whole race.
Good luck today. Drive safely.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Marcus Giltrap is right behind Marcus Armand, and we haven't had a word with Marco Giltrap at all this weekend. So let me squeeze through these ladies and see if I can have a quick word with Marco. Oh, he's not in the car. Where did Marco go? We have a driverless car. Let's see. I'm looking around for him. He doesn't seem to be available. I wonder if that car will get started. It's pretty difficult without a driver, I must say. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll change the script slightly and have a word with Marvin Klein, who's entertaining people. I'll get involved in this photograph. This looks like an attractive photograph. 3 very attractive people. Marvin, how are you feeling today? Good performance, got on the podium again today. You got some very fast cars in front of you. Do you think you'll get on the podium again?
Yeah, we start on P5 today, so yeah, we have a bit more margin to step on the podium for today. But yeah, we worked also during the evening and everything, because we had the feedback from the race of yesterday. So yeah, I'm confident, and yeah, we will push for the podium.
Realistically, how many opportunities are there on any one lap here in Bangsaen to actually overtake?
There is not so many options, to be honest. There is the start with the first lap. We know that the hairpin, there is the yellow flag, so we cannot try something. But after everything is possible. We saw yesterday in the last corner it's possible. In the T2 as well, we can try something. And after in the middle part in the sector 2, that's a bit more difficult. You need to follow. You cannot try something, but yeah, you need to prepare everything in your lab to try something there. So yeah, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to push to catch the front.
All right, good luck today. Drive safe.
Thank you.
Okay, come. I want to see if I can catch up with Chris Chia, because he's in P8. And that's a pretty darn good performance for a Pro-Am driver. So here's Chris's car anyway. Again, we've got a driverless car. I'm wondering if this is perhaps because there might be a slight delay. We had some trucks racing here earlier on. There's quite a few bashes into some of the barriers around the place, and they've had to do a little bit of fixing. So the cars are already here lined up, but whether the drivers are in place or not, nope, we don't seem to be. We've got a helmet, but it's a bodiless helmet. So I don't know, maybe we'll see if we can catch up. Chris. First of all, you're not in your car. Why is that? Have you been told that there's a delay of some sort?
Yeah, it's quite hot today, and I try to avoid.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Staying cool is a good idea. Hey, great performance to get in this position on the grid for a Pro-Am. What are your hopes today for the race?
Yeah, it's another pole today, and it's a quite good position. And but today is extremely hot, so try to calm down and keep the pace and keep the position to the end.
It was raining yesterday morning and fairly cool for the rest of the day. But how does this rank with the other races, the other venues that you've competed in terms of just heat, humidity and exhaustion?
Both good, but today only focus on today. Yeah, today is quite hot. Yeah, manage the tire, manage the pace.
Okay, well, good luck, drive safely, and see if you can stay hydrated.
Okay, thank you.
Well done. That's Chris Chia. I wonder if we can maybe, if we still have time, I think we do, see if we can have a word with Amna Al-Kubaisi. Whoa, here we go. How are you doing? All right? Seth Gilmore here. How are you feeling? You're taking some shade under the umbrella here, which seems to be very sensible, because I'm roasting. How are you feeling?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty hot, but no, I love the heat, man, and it just makes it more interesting, I reckon, all part of the fun.
Yeah, you'd rather be doing this than in the cold weather?
100%, yeah, I love the heat. I'm not a fan of the cold.
All right, good. Well, good luck today.
Thank you.
Conditions will suit you. We'll be watching carefully.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, let's see if we can get a word with Amna. Let's see if I make sure I can get her. So it's car 55 we're looking for. P13 should be here, I think. See where we are. Is Amna around? Amna is here. Thank you, Cecily. Getting a bit of help here on the grid, which is always good. Drivers all over the place, not in their cars and all sorts of things. Amna, why are you sitting in the shade?
Saving energy.
How does this rank in terms of other places where you've driven, in terms of the heat and humidity? I was just speaking to some of the other drivers, and it's pretty oppressive here, isn't it?
Oh my God, I think this is the toughest heat track I've ever been to in my experience. I've raced in Singapore, I've raced in the UAE, and by far Bangsaen beats them all.
Tell me, how does it feel qualifying quicker than 3-time champion Chris van der Drift?
Oh my God. I feel bad. Don't say that.
You feel guilty?
I feel guilty.
I mean, he's going to be right alongside you. You're going to be very aware of him at the start because, I mean, I'm not sure that he's on his absolute, biggest, most ambitious game this weekend, but still it'll be something to say for yourself, won't it, if you can get through the first corner ahead of him and maintain that.
Oh yeah, I mean, just stay ahead. Try not to make any mistakes at the start because after that, you're just stuck there.
All right, stay hydrated and have a safe race.
Thank you.
That's Amna Al-Kubaisi. We are done with our little walk along the grid. Hope you enjoy the race. There is no sign of rain. Don't worry about that. We'll be hot. You stay cool.
Hearing about 7 more minutes before our drivers get released on what will be the first of 2 formation laps here in round 8 of the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. Let's walk you through championship points and how things sit now after yesterday's round. With the news that Marcus Amond will miss the rounds at Sepang, the 64.5 point gap that he has to Rodrigo Diaz-Almeida and Marco Giltrap looks a little bit smaller. Remember that not all the championship points and rounds get included at the end of the season. Marvin Klein, Lin Kang not far behind as well, while Nakib Aslan sits 2.5 points back from that number 87 Origin Motorsports of Lin Kang. In Pro-Am, at this point it's pretty clear for Wong Jong Wei, stay out of trouble, finish the rest of the races this season, and he will be Pro-Am champion. No Bao Jinlong, no Lu Wei, and no Francis Chia, unfortunately after his opening race incident. Bao Jinlong missing this round, but expecting to see him back at least for Sepang and the final round. In the AM class, starting to look a little bit more in favour of Roy Tang, as much as yesterday was not the easiest of days. He has a 34.5 point gap to Eric Kwong, missing this round. Henry Kwong has closed the gap to his brother, while Simon Chan and Yen Chuang sit 4th and 5th. Yen Chuang will be rueing the mistake he made yesterday down at turn 13. And meanwhile, in the Masters class, fiercely contested yesterday, and John Shen able to grab the victory. It sees him now with a 26-point lead over Adrian De Silva. But again, remember, Adrian missed the first couple of races at the Shanghai International Circuit, so effectively those are going to be the rounds that are not included in the points for him. Let's head back down to the grid and see what else Steve's wrangled up.
Well, we spoke a moment ago about how Marcus Amond will not be able to rack up any points next time we all get together in Sepang. I wonder how many of you have noticed that the man who's best placed to benefit from that is Rodrigo Diaz-Almeida. He's second in the Drivers' Championship. Problem for you today, though, Rodrigo, is that you're right at the back of the grid. First of all, tell us how that came about. Why are you at the back?
Yeah, yesterday we had some bad luck on qualifying. We were P2, fighting for the pole on the conditions that we have yesterday on the rain. We tried to get the pole and we get a crash on turn 1. We damaged the chassis, so we changed the chassis for today. Unfortunately, yesterday we didn't race. So when we change the chassis, we start from the back. We have some work to do today.
All right, very clear. Disappointing for you, but it's quite a bit of fun, isn't it? A driver as good as you realizing that he can weave his way through a crowded field, but that should be a nice challenge for someone as skilled as you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in Bangsaen, that is tough, as the people know. Will be fun for sure.
And now you've got the new chassis on. The car's in perfect condition?
Yes, perfect condition. New one.
All right, we'll be watching carefully. Drive safely.
Thank you.
All right, that's Rodrigo Diaz-Almeida. I think we have a little bit of time. We can work our way back up the grid from the very back all the way to the front. Let's have a word with Dale Wood, who's a guest driver. We've never spoken to Dale before. Could we have a word with Dale? Is that okay? Dale, hi, how are you doing? We haven't spoken before. I'm just shutting off the aerator there. We haven't spoken before, but you're a pro driver right at the back of the grid. First of all, how did you manage to get yourself to the back of the grid?
I don't know if I can give the real answer on all of that, but you know what? It's still very fun to be here. I haven't been to Bangsaen before, so I think the circuit is. The only thing I can relate to the circuit is similar to our Gold Coast circuit in Australia. It's
a lot of street circuits.
Yeah. Bumps and curbs and all that. It's a fantastic circuit. So for me, my weekend is a little bit different. I would like to be up the front racing these guys, but that's not my job this weekend. So it's still nice to be here. You guys get an awesome turnout, so it's still very fortunate.
How does it feel? And tell us what it's like in Australia as well, because here, it's quite unique for the Asian Series to see all these fans at trackside so close to the drivers. That must give you a bit of a thrill.
Yeah, it does. I mean, everybody is so passionate. We don't see interaction like this at Australia at our biggest events. Everybody is, really excited, and I love the fact that everybody can just virtually come and touch and, get right up close and personal. So it's really nice to see. It's just a lot hotter here than what it is at home. I think it's currently 6 degrees in Melbourne. So this is a little bit different, but it's nice.
Thanks for letting us get up close and personal. Good race today.
Cheers, thank you.
All right. Let's see if we can have a word with one of our grandmasters. Whoop, let me go squeeze through, my goodness me. If we've got time, we don't have time. Jackie Wu's sitting there waiting for us to talk to him, and we don't have time, but that is, of course, good news for you, because the race will start very soon.
As mentioned, about 2 minutes away from our drivers being able to roll. Now, there's quite a few storylines that I would like to talk about. Let's see if we can run down them as we talk about the starting grid for today's race. Marcus Amond, for the first time this season, will lead from the front, and that's with the 64 points advantage he has over the rest of the field. Nakib Aslan still slots in alongside, but he's looking to try and grab a podium for just the second time this season. Behind on row number 2, Marco Giltrap and Dylan Pereira, while Marvin Klein and Leo Ray Chi are in 5th and 6th positions for Absolute Racing and Phantom Global Racing, respectively. Josh Berry for EBM, Chris Chia, the first of the Pro-Ams, Phantom Global Racing, 7th and 8th positions, with Seth Gilmore for Porsche Centre Adelaide, and Lin Kang for the Origin Motorsport Pro entry, back in 10th. Jujie Feng, best of the AMs, on 11th spot. He's got Yen Chuang hoping for some redemption on the outside of row number 6, while Amna Al-Kabasi and Chris Vanderdrift, 13th and 14th, have some work to do. Simon Chan and Henry Kwong are 15th and 16th positions, while Yang Ho Jae and Roy Tang 17th and 18th respectively in the pair of 610 Racing Pro-Am cars. Lee Karong and Adrian De Silva 19th and 20th. De Silva the best of the Masters drivers, while Wong Jong-wei, the only point scoring Pro-Am driver, back in 21st. John Shen on his outside, and then Jackie Wu back in 23rd. So the Masters drivers all relatively close. Dale Wood didn't want to say what his reason was for being back, but he didn't get a lap in yesterday. In the first race we had to pull in at the end of the formation laps. Rodrigo Diaz Almeida, a new chassis for him after a qualifying crash. That's seen him drop to the tail end of the grid. Alongside Diaz Almeida was another driver that's had an incident this weekend. We didn't see Alex Sawyer, Dat Sawyer, as he has asked to be called this weekend. His crash also, I think, has seen him aggravate his shoulder potentially. Not the most comfortable driving around the streets of Bangsaen with that injury. The car needed some repair as well, but they have not returned to the track since his incident. Hoping he'll be back at Sepang in about 6 weeks' time, the 3rd week in August. Should be equally hot, although one of our races will be in the night and a slightly longer endurance race. No standing start. That will see the rolling start as well. So the grid getting cleared, and such a unique opportunity for the fans to get so close on the pre-grid. I'll see these drivers pull away as the flat six sing. Dylan Pereira, the returning champion. First time we've seen him this season. He's been racing GT3 cars mostly in Europe. Adapting to the new 992.2 generation car. And said that by the end of yesterday's race was feeling a lot more confident. And to prove that point, he had the fastest lap in yesterday's race. So keep an eye out for him. If he can get the launch slightly better than he did yesterday, he'll be in a great position. Marvin Klein is also looking very, very good. He missed the races at Zhuhai, so those are the rounds of the championship that won't be included in the points calculation for him. He was fulfilling his responsibilities racing in other Porsche Carrera Cups over in Europe. But a double podium at Fuji, third yesterday, which will technically be second in points because Dylan Pereira is invisible for points this weekend. There's some opportunities for these pro drivers to try and put the pressure onto Marcus Amond, I would think, next time out with his absence in the competition. 30 degrees Celsius was the air temperature, but remember 44 degrees Celsius was the track temperature. The Michelin tires going to be really put through their paces today, and whoever is going to be able to keep them underneath you for the entirety of the 14 laps or 30 minutes, whichever comes first, will be in a great spot. The ever bombastic look for the Bergwerk number 23. No Eric Kwong. This time it's Chris Vanderdrift behind the wheel. Traditional blue for Team Jebsen. We had the chance to catch up with Amna Alkabasi just a couple of moments ago. Team Jebsen have been racing in Carrera Cup Asia, the ARbox Carrera Cup Asia, since back in 2004. One of the longest dealer teams in the series. Oh, look at the smiles. Ready to go. And still needing every bit of shade you can. Roy Tang starting one spot lower than he did yesterday as the AM leader. So down in 6th in class. He's got some work to do. He'll want to head to Singapore with some confidence that the championship is all but wrapped up. Be difficult to actually secure it before those final races, but leave as little work as possible for those final 2 rounds. Adrian De Silva does not have that luxury. Long-time veteran of the series, founder of, or part of the origin story for Earl Bamber Motorsports. Lee Karong coming off what has been a spectacular year. 2nd place at the Bathurst 12 Hours. Backed it up with a win in the Independent Cup at the Nürburgring 24, so leading in the Intercontinental GT Challenge drivers' points at that point. And then finished P2 as well recently in class in the Spa 24, all in the Porsche 911 GT3R. Amazing helmet for Dale Wood. There's a new Toy Story movie coming out, or maybe it's already out, depending on when you've watched this. There's the thumbs up from Jackie Wu. Now, I've got to say that you can't make a Porsche race car look bad, but that is one of the better looking race cars we have on display. It is a unique Thai Golden Tree in full bloom Porsche 911 Cup car, and that is going to be one of the first die-cast made by a new title partner of the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. So be on the lookout, 3rd quarter of 2026. I've got to say, I am a die-cast fan, and already I am plotting how I'm going to get one of these over to my broadcast booth. The global broadcast booth, unfortunately, does span continents, so it's going to have to travel some ways. Can see the heat, though, for the drivers. That at least there is some air conditioning in these cars, but after yesterday, we did see some of the drivers drained. There's no second race after this, or third race, I should say. One final effort this weekend before the 6-week gap before the next round of the championship. Big smiles up close to a Porsche Cup car. Just waiting for the sign that the drivers are going to get released. The last update we got was the 10-minute board was to come out at past. We are now closing in on at 10 to the top of the hour. That's a bit later than expected. There was a 10% chance of rain when we last looked at the weather, so no real concerns, I think, as compared to last year, where we did have some sprinkles of moisture on the end of our formation laps. Not enough to require the wet tires. But our first practice session this weekend was significantly impacted by the rain, as was qualifying. And Naqib Aslan ended up being multiple seconds quicker in that qualifying session. There you can see the reason why we are still having the brief hold. Just before the Porsche hairpin, the no passing zone, there was a incident where one of the trucks went hard into a Tech Pro barrier, if I was informed correctly, listening to the English broadcast of the Thai Super Series feed. I think, though, the motorcycle, the trucks leaving the scene, that's a good sign. We may be moments away from sending our drivers out. We had a clean race yesterday for the most part. And so fingers crossed, knock on wood, we'll be in for the same here today. One or two street circuit races, but very different street circuits. Bangsaen and Marina Bay, the Singapore street circuit. If anything, I would argue the modern Formula One street circuits feel a bit more like just regular racetracks nowadays. Yes, there's the jeopardy of the walls, but ultra smooth tarmac and so much more. 3-minute board shown. And our driver's about to be left to themselves. The doors will be closed. And then the silence that awaits the firing of the engines. 6 races left this season. One of those being the endurance round of the year. That will be a night race at Sepang. Slightly longer rolling start. Very different to what we are in for today. The second of our races. Now halfway through the 2026 Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia season. How the year is flying by, how the championship has been flying by. And right now the man to beat, the flying Finn, Marcus Amon, in that pink BWT with the Windhager red on the back. The 20-year-old has not really put a foot wrong on the podium in every round of the championship so far. And 4 wins to add to those podiums as well. Consistency is one thing, but the difference between first and second in points is 5 points. It's then 3 points difference between the next couple of spots. So the biggest advantage is really to go out and win these races. There is a reason why he is a Porsche Junior driver, selected by Porsche alongside of one other during the selection process, which involved a phase in esports as well. Tested alongside the Porsche Coanda factory esports team. Then physically tested, not just in the car, but to see the limits of the drivers themselves, how much they can push in uncomfortable and physically demanding situations, mentally understand them, and then of course the racing aspect of it as well. Waves crashing onto the Bangsaen beach. Hopefully not an ominous sign. Let's send them finally. Bit of a delay. But we are 2 formation laps away from the 8th round of our 2026 season. The first question always, will all cars, all 25 of them, roll away from the pit lane? There's the Flat 6 Symphony firing off. And one by one, first 15 or so already now leaving the lane, and looks like all 25 are off and away. So unfortunately, just missing Dat Sawyer in the Porsche Vietnam machine after his incident in practice. And that sees one less pro entry. We have 25 cars still ready to tussle here on the streets of Bangsaen. Remember, 2 formation laps, so plenty of opportunity for us to once again run through the starting grid. If you're just joining us, Marcus Amon, 4 victories this season, but his first pole position as the points leader sits up front. The BWT Shanghai Yonder number 3. Naki Baslan slots in on the outside of the front row in the Team Porsche Malaysia number 17, hoping for a better start, while Marco Giltrap in the Team Porsche New Zealand number 66 is alongside of the returning champ Dylan Pereira in the 89 for Absolute Racing. Marvin Klein in the 88 for Absolute Racing sits in 5th. He's got Liu Rui Chi in the best of the Phantom Global Racing cars, the number 77 in 6th. Josh Berry 7th for the EBM 11th. Alongside the best of the Pro-Ams, Phantom Global Racing founder Chris Chia, who won yesterday on debuting the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. Seth Gilmore in the Porsche Centre Adelaide 24 has got Lin Kang alongside to complete the top 10 in the Origin Motorsport 87, while Jujie Feng, best of the AM drivers in the Open Road Racing number 69. He's got Yen Chuang, fellow AM competitor, alongside in the BWT Phantom Global Racing 27, while a pair of pros, Amna Al-Khabaisi for Team Jebsen in the 55, Chris Vanderdrift in the Bergwerk 23, that slot in on row number 7. Behind them, Simon Chan, Fire Monkey Motorsports is number 10, and Henry Kwong, pair of AMs in the Bergwerk number 91, 15th and 16th respectively, while Young Hao Jie 17th in the 610 Racing 610. Roy Tang in the number 25 610 Racing machine slots into 18th. Lee Karong, the second of our invite drivers in the Origin Motorsports, number 4, the Pro-Am driver 19th. Adrian De Silva, the best of the Masters drivers, in 20th in the EBM machine, while Wong Jong-wei 21st in the Origin Motorsports car. John Chen, the Medina Motorsports 16th, sits 22nd. Jackie Wu, the Porsche-owned Retail 69 team, the special livery from ARbox, sits 23rd. Dale Wood for Viper Nizza Racing is 24th, while Rodrigo Diaz Almeida, a new chassis for him, drops into the tail end of the field. Watch out for the Pro in the number 8 We Trade Phantom Global orange machine to be firing his way up through the field. A track that always evolves through the weekend, and while some of the drivers may have made a couple of setup tweaks from yesterday, there's always the question of how much those changes will actually bear some positive benefits. What you do have on these 2 formation laps is the opportunity to really gather a better sense of where the track sits, especially down up towards turn 6. The right-hander before that, which is where these drivers are going through now, is where we had the crash that's slightly delayed this second race of the weekend in one of the support series races for the Thailand Super Series. So just make sure that you've spotted everything that you need to. On board with Dylan Pereira, and that's the chicane which always makes me hold my breath at turn 10. And just look at the car bounce around, and this at relatively low speeds. Still got to warm your tires, don't forget, and get them ready for the start. weave back and forth, get some energy, not just into the surface, but into the carcass of the Michelin tyre. The longer you sit there and the tyres cool off, the more difficult that initial start and then the run up to turn 1 will be. The red numbers are Pro-Am drivers. Saw that on Chris Chia's number 79. We've got Am and Masters drivers a little bit further down through the field as well. One of 4 championships running this brand new 992.2 generation Cup car, alongside the Carrera Cup North America and Deutschland and of course the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. It's been interesting. Track records being broken everywhere we go. And it was no different yesterday when we shaved 2 seconds off of the fastest laps from prior years. Dylan Pereira really got the bit between his teeth. By the time we got to the end of the race, can he focus that energy here at the start? Track position crucial here in the battle on the Bangsaen beach. Niki Baslan found that out to his detriment yesterday. Started on pole, but by the time they got in towards the right-hand flick of turn 1, Marcus Amond had already slipped through. This time it's roles reversed. Marcus Amond on the left side of the track sits in pole for the first time this season as the points leader. While meanwhile alongside, it's only the second time this year Niki Baslan has not earned pole's position. It's time for him to convert into a race win. But will it be today? Ready to go for the 8th round in the 2026 Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. The lights come up, the Porsche Symphony sings. Great start from Marvin Klein. Will he get boxed out? Rockets up towards turn 1, and I think Marcus Amond will cover off the field. Niki Baslan struggles once again. Marco Giltrap already up the inside in towards turns 1 and 2. And Aslan bottled down to 4th. Marvin Klein able to follow through after the amazing launch off the line. Yen Chuang getting physical as he tries to pass Zhu Jiefeng in the early stages of the race. Not quite working out for him as we dive down into the Porsche hairpin. No passing here, but a spin. And unfortunately a crash. Ling Kang hits the wall, ping-pongs off the barriers. Looks like Josh Berry might have been involved as well in the bright orange EBM number 11. Yellow flags, of course, down at turn 6. But the leaders stretch their legs. Marcus Amond being hunted down by Marco Giltrap. Giltrap finished second back in the first race at Zhuhai. But looking for the victory if he can close the gap. Amond has been imperious at managing the opening stages of this race. Out through turn 13. Will slither up towards the final heavy braking zone of the lap. And this is where we saw so much pressure being applied on the back of Niki Baslan. This time, he's looking aggressive. Up the inside of the Frenchman Marvin Klein. Now, has it quite worked out? Sweeps through and back up to 3rd. Great job in the Team Porsche Malaysia number 17. And bundles down the Absolute Racing car. Out wide, Marvin Klein tags Aslan straight into the wall. That was an optimistic move. And unfortunately, the optimism not quite working out. Marvin Klein, I think, lost himself in the runoff area. He'll finally try and dig it into reverse gear, but look at the damage on his car. And Aslan is smoking up the left rear. That's something where now you've got to slow down. Hardest thing to do, but you'll do more damage if you allow the tyre to continue rubbing against the bodywork at speed. Oh, it's just been a season to forget, unfortunately, outside of qualifying for the 25-year-old Niki Baslan. Still green though. The Am drivers now fighting up inside of the top 10. Zhu Jiefeng, Yen Chuang once again. Amna Al-Kubasi stuck in the mix. Simon Chan then, Henry Kwong and Roy Tang continue the Am contingent that's in this queue. Very similar scene to what we saw yesterday. There you can see, by the way, Marvin Klein, unfortunately, you saw from the shot, almost hit the wall through the right-hander of turn 1, and I don't think he was ever going to slow that up in time without the contact being made. That's going to hurt Marvin Klein as well in the championship, let's not forget. So it's not just Nakib that's losing out there. Oh, goodness. Oh, now this is maybe worse. Marvin dragging bodywork around. You're better off just pulling off and unfortunately calling it a day and avoiding bringing this race under the purview of a safety car. And yeah, he's been forced to park it, and we will go full course caution. That's going to relieve the pressure on Zhu Jiefeng and Yen Chuang. Meanwhile, Marcus Amon 2.5 seconds clear of Marco Giltrap. Dylan Pereira hot on the heels. Liu Ruiqi now up in 4th. He's in a great position here to pick up some valuable championship points, as is Josh Berry. Chris Chia, his 2nd race in the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. The Pro-Am driver sits 6th. And then Seth Gilmore down in 7th. Safety car is officially now out on track. And Marvin Klein's absolute racing car, ruined right front, is going to probably need the flatbed to return. I'm not going to call that move a dive bomb from Marvin Klein, because I don't think he intended to go that deep, unfortunately, into the corner. I'm not sure if he was caught out potentially through turn 1. But you can see that these drivers are on the regular racing line, and Marvin Klein was all the way to the other side of the track. That's the close quarters nature, I think, of street circuit sometimes, and especially this type of street circuit. The EBM team gets to work on the Team Porsche New Zealand, Team Porsche Malaysia, car. EBM helping with a variety of the various dealer programs, including Team Porsche New Zealand. Let's take another look at the race start. I mean, Marvin Klein, what an initial start it was for him. Can't say the same, unfortunately, for Nakib Aslan. So Marco Giltrap already through. Dylan Pereira gets bottled up. And excuse me, it was Seth Gilmore in the bright orange who's going to get involved slightly later on. So keep an eye out for that very distinctive machine. So Nakib gets slightly checked up here, but that's just racing. Yen Chuang initially actually gets in front of Zhu Jiefeng, but 69 open road car is able to drive off the corner a bit better. Yeah, I mean, again, Marvin's not slowing down. He's on the brakes, but he's just coming in too hot offline. His first worry was, I don't want to hit the wall on the left, and by the time he avoided doing that, wasn't really much more he could, I think, do at that point to avoid Nakib. It's not going to be much consolation. Let's listen. I always enjoy trying to listen, but I don't think there was much to pick up there. Ling Kang is also sat in the pit lane. He was the one that got involved in the moment with Seth Gilmore. That's seen Gilmore head to pit lane alongside of Vanderdrift, Wood, Aslan, Klein, Kang, and Wong Jong-wei as well. I hadn't noticed if something had happened there. Lots of debris, by the way, from Marvin's attempt to continue on track. That's the part that I think is probably going to be more frustrating. Now the fact that the safety team is going to have to go and pick up all of the carbon fiber debris, potentially as well with that smoke. I'm wondering if there's some oil or fluid that had been deposited on the track. Oh, wow. So the car wasn't that badly damaged initially, I had thought. Maybe the frustration, and that was, I would assume, at turn 13, or maybe just after turn 13, because there's Tech Pro at turn 13. Yen Chuang hit that yesterday. Marvin still behind the wheel there. He had a moment in qualifying as well that at least happened toward the end, so he had some decent qualifying efforts, at least backed up before the team then had to get to work very hard yesterday. Down towards the hairpin they go. Let's head down to the pit lane, see who Steve's able to catch up with in this brief yellow flag.
Very graciously, Naqib Aslan is with us. Naqib, disappointing that you're exited from that race. Just take us through it from your perspective.
Yeah, like you said, it's super disappointing. I can't comment it just yet. I haven't seen exactly what happened. All I know is we had not a great start, but we recovered it with a great overtake in the final corner. And next thing you know, I'm the wrong way around into turn 1. So
it looked like you got a little tip. It looks like somebody give you a little nudge. And
well, we'll have to see what happens. I'm just so gutted for the team because the whole weekend we showed such great potential. P1 in every session, other than the races. So
Sepang next. There's got to be a lot of excitement about that weekend approaching.
100%. I think home Grand Prix is a great privilege to race on there. But at this point in time, yeah, I'm just really gutted for the team and really disappointed, but it is what it is.
Thanks, Naqib. Back to you guys.
Well, the highs of racing are high, the lows are low, and Naqib showing a lot of professionalism in that interview. I think there's a lot to take from that if you're new to the series. That's the type of attitude you want to see from young and upcoming drivers. Quite frankly, this sport is brutal. It's not always going to be your way. Naqib's finding that out in the harshest way possible this year as well, with all the speed in qualifying and just no luck in the race. But he's got some good support behind him. The Axel Simsports team, Alex Jung and company. And I'm just now sat here thinking about it's been a long day of racing for me, between this pair of Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia races we've had. I've also commentated on some qualifying for the Porsche Esports Super Cup, including some Asia Pacific racing, where plenty of contact in the race we had at Fuji Speedway, and I have no doubt there was some frustration communicated instantly in the voice chats and the discords. Naqib kind of going against that stereotype, and I really love to see that. I can't speak highly enough of the character, and that goes for everyone, I think, for the most part in this field, especially when you get down to the YAM and Masters classes, where we've got some veterans who have been around the series for many years as well, and are fierce competitors in their own right. So just waiting now for that debris to be picked up. We'll filter back a couple of drivers around the pace car, I would presume, and allow Marcus Amon to be at the point of the field. Let's head back down to pit lane. I think Steve's been able to grab Seth Gilmore.
Seth Gilmore, another casualty of war here in Bangsaen. Can you take us through your perspective?
Yeah, it wasn't anything too crazy. We were side by side from turn 2 up over the top of the hill, and I was in front of him coming down towards 5, but unfortunately he's just tagged the rear of my car and spun me around, and then I've got tagged by someone else at the front, possibly him, I'm not too sure, but yeah, just unfortunately a bit too much damage to the car to continue, so that's just our race.
You say unfortunately, are you personally disappointed? Because it's a great race weekend, isn't it?
Mate, we had so much pace. We were really on for something good there, and yeah, it's annoying as always, but on to the next one, I guess. Yeah. Sepang.
Sad to see. We'll see you in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another one showing a decent attitude with all the frustration. Can you lip read? I wonder what instructions Marcus Amond, Yen Chuang and company are being told right now. Still waiting for the debris to be picked up there. There comes Jackie Wu in the wonderful Thai Golden Tree in full bloom ARbox livery. And there we go. Field now going to be correctly sorted. And just waiting to see if we'll get lights off this time by. More likely next time by, I would presume. That would mean a 5-lap shootout. We'll see how aggressive Dylan Pereira wants to be. If I'm Marco Giltrap, is this my chance to try and pick the pocket of the flying Finn up front? Ray Chi, Josh Berry, that's the rest of the pros at the front of the field. Chris Chia, the best of the Pro-Am drivers, he's down in 6th. And Zhu Jiefeng versus Yen Chuang, part 2 after the tussle they had yesterday. Yen Chuang ended up making a mistake by himself, and I know he's ready to atone for that mistake. Turned 39 a week ago, did Yen, and what better present could he give himself than that first win in the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. Doesn't look as though any of the drivers that headed to pit lane have returned to the track, at least based on the timing screen. So that looks like Seth Gilmore, Chris Vanderdrift, Dale Wood, Nakib Aslan, Arvin Klein, Lin Kang and Wong Jong Wei. So count them, 7 of the 25 starters who find themselves now sitting on the sidelines. Does mean Rodrigo Diaz Almeida, who started 25th, is all the way up to 14th position. Chris Chia's pushed the right side mirror in, by the way, so if anyone tries to make a move on that side, he's not going to be able to see them coming. I said 25 starters, by the way. Just a reminder, if you're just joining us, that one driver had a moment in practice. They also had a crash. We haven't seen them since. In the number 12 Porsche Vietnam, Sawyer Hongdat. Hoping we'll see him back at the next round at Sepang, which is a triple header, of course. Include that one endurance race. Slightly longer and a rolling start. I always enjoy the differences that you see there. As mentioned, Chris Chia, that right side mirror pushed in all but slightly. Looks as though they are getting waved back around, and so hopefully it should be a restart next time by, maybe one more. It will all depend on how quickly these drivers can filter back to the tail end. Now we've got 12 minutes left on the clock, or 5 laps. I think we can quite comfortably get those 5 laps in, if we can go green this time by. That's always the question, if. This will cool down the Michelin tyres though. 44 degrees Celsius was on track temperature provided by Michelin at the start of the race. And there's the news we wanted to hear. Safety car in this lap. Weave back and forth. Time to get the energy into the tyres for the 5 drivers that didn't have to filter back around. So Marcus Amond, Marco Giltrap, Dylan Pereira, Liu Rui-Chi and Josh Berry basically spent the last lap and a half waiting for everyone else to catch up at full racing speed. Look how narrow the track is as these drivers work out through turns 8, 9 and up to the chicane at turn 10. The margins non-existent. The risk ever present in the driver's mind as well. Don't forget that. Especially if you've had moments earlier in the weekend. Marcus Amond holds the field. It's an angry pack of Porsche Cup cars ready to go on the Bangsaen beach. 5 laps or 10.5 minutes. We're getting those 5 laps in. How long does he wait? Dylan Pereira is waiting, raring to go. And Amon punches the throttle. And a couple of drivers caught out. Back underway. Second race of the weekend for the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia here on the streets of Bangsaen. And the green flag back out. And already it's going to be close to 1.3 seconds. That covers first and second. A great restart there from our championship leader. Marco Giltrap has a decent enough start. He will hold off Dylan Pereira up to turn 2. And now slither up the hill. Single file here. There's no hope for passing. Ju Feng is trying to hold off Yen Chuang for the AM lead. That's 7th and 8th overall. And then Adrian De Silva has got Lee Karong between himself and the next of the Masters drivers, John Shen in the Medina Motorsports number 16 with the flames on the side. Down at turn 8, say goodbye to Marcus Amon, purple sector 1. Close to 3/10 faster than Marco Giltrap, who was still quicker, or set his quickest personal first sector in this race. Plenty of debris on the track. That's going to be a concern for these drivers. Don't want to run over it and puncture one of the Michelin tires. Look how defensive Marco Giltrap is going. Dylan Pereira worked on the back of Nakib Aslan for a handful of laps yesterday, and then eventually Aslan broke and at the final corner made a mistake. Marco Giltrap, the 22-year-old, hoping to avoid that. Sits second in the championship points, tied. And heading into the final rounds, this is not a battle that will change the points he earns. Dylan Pereira is invisible in terms of the points as a guest driver. But crucially, Marco Giltrap compares himself to Rodrigo Diaz Almeida and sees the gap opening up for second behind Marcus Amon. Dylan Pereira almost too close to Giltrap coming out through the hairpin. And the concertina extends as they run down to turn 8. This part of the track is relatively smooth compared to especially the opening sector of the lap. The direction changes one way then the other. think drivers enjoying the addition of the anti-lock braking system for this new generation of car. Some additional aero at the front, maybe some compliance as well on these streets. Out of turn 16, Carrera shows himself in the left side mirror. He takes such a different line through the almost double apex, and it doesn't allow him to get the run up to turn 1. That's important. Oh, big pile up. And a handful are now going to get involved in this, and it will separate out our AM and Masters drivers. Involved in that is the AM Championship leader, Roy Tang, in the white and blue, whose rear wheels have almost been lifted up. And no doubt, instantly, the red flag comes out. This has been a difficult second race of our weekend. See if we can figure out who else was involved. My goodness. John Shen, the Flames, there's no mistaking him there. Henry Kwong, he's in the blue and purple machine just up the road. Lee Karong's in the white and purple. Okay, so it's Henry that has the initial moment, loses the rear end, slides from the right side of the track to the left, and then as he pancakes off the wall, Roy Tang with nowhere to go, breaks the right front suspension. Oh, great job from Young Ha Jae to slip through, avoids all of that. Adrian De Silva doesn't get through unscathed though. He's parked very precariously just in front of Lee Karong. Jackie Wu wounding down in time to avoid running into the back. There's no ARCA brakes going on there. That's exactly what you want to see from the rest of the field, just avoiding any further pile-ups there. The Bosch race anti-lock brake system probably helping quite a bit. There's all sorts of unique things about the braking system. That's not the best of views for Marcus Amond as the team gets on the radio. I have no doubt that this race is over. With the clock continuing to tick away, 4 minutes left on that clock. There is no chance of this race being restarted. They're going to slip Lee Karong through first in that number 4 Origin Motorsport white and purple. They're going to be careful as well to ensure that Roy Tang and Henry Kwong's cars don't accrue any further damage in the recovery process here. No real need to expedite that ahead of the next race here today. We'll just use the existing time available, you'd think. And so now make that 5 wins this season for Marcus Amond. Would have liked to see the checkered flag on track, no doubt. But missing those rounds at Sepang, crucial for him. That now in back-to-back championship weekends, first at Fuji, here at Bangsaen, that he has gone ahead and maximized his points. Wins in both races. Hasn't grabbed the qualifying points on offer necessarily all the time, but compared to the rest of the field, has put himself at an arm's reach. Sure, he's going off to race in one of the other championships that he's in. Maybe it's Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. But that void is going to allow maybe someone to rise. Naqib Aslan will wish to win on home soil. Wait and see if any other of our Malaysian drivers hope to see that success as well. That includes Adrian De Silva in the Masters class, but not just him. Maybe Douglas Koo jumping back into the Viper Nizza Racing number 65. Now, not jumping out of the cars just yet. So let's wait and see. The clock still ticks and is now under 2 minutes on the timing screen. But could we still have some laps left to go? Now I want a snack, thank you very much. That looks like a good time. Anytime you're by race cars is a good day by my books. And it does look as though the Thai fans getting an up close and unique experience this weekend. Teams doing their best to keep our drivers cool now that the airflow has kind of stopped. You can see just above the wheel arch. Well, if we ever look at one of these cars, just look above the wheel arches. It's one of the big changes this year outside of the electronics or the aero that gets put at the front. The performance of these cars is quite remarkable. Officially, the word has come down. Session will not resume. I think I'd already kind of assumed that. And Marcus Amond is ready, I think, to clamber out of that race car and celebrate with the BWT Shanghai Yonder crew. There we go. The words come through. And officially, Marcus Amond will celebrate not just the win, but a fastest lap as well. Dylan Pereira will make the argument that he never really got a chance to set a fastest lap in today's race, got stuck behind Marco Giltrap, but nevertheless, the times are the times. And after Carrera set the benchmark yesterday, Marcus Amond, pole, fastest lap, victory. It's the perfect clean sweep on Sunday. Well, the waves crashing onto the Bangsaen beach ended up being a bit more ominous than I hoped. And into victory lane, Marcus Amond slips in for the second time this weekend. Marco Giltrap will enjoy this result. Fended off the advances of Dylan Pereira quite well. And great on Dylan's return to see him grab the double podium. As much as he's not in the points mix for the other drivers, he made sure that in the brief chance he got in these new Cup cars that he made the most of the time. Marcus Amond, BWT Shanghai Yonder. Yet another victory this season. Make that win number 5 with Marco Giltrap slotting in behind and Dylan Pereira then down in third. Liorei Chi, Josh Berry, top 5 in Pro before you get down to Chris Chia, Pro-Am winner for the second race this weekend. Jujie Feng also your race winner in the Am class for the second race this weekend. Yen Truong at least atones for yesterday's slip up and keeps Amna Alkabasi at bay. Simon Chan, Henry Kwong and Roy Tang, that's how they are classified. I would guess because of the red flag, we take the results from the previous lap and therefore these drivers will finish as they are. Rodrigo Diaz Almeida down in 13th. I say down in 13th. He fought his way up from 25th position, so he should be proud of that one. Young Ho Jae in 14th, Adrian De Silva, and the rest of the field scrolls through. Let's take a look at the highlights of the second race of the weekend. And Marvin Klein rocketed off the line but found a wall of Porsche Cup cars in front as we dropped down into turn 1. He would filter, though, into the podium spots and the battle in the opening couple of laps. However, a mistake. Put himself offline and then drilled the side of Nakib Aslan in towards turn number 2. Aslan would take some significant damage And while Marvin Klein mostly left the scene of the incident unscathed, he would get involved in a subsequent bit of contact, this one down at turn 16. That would result in a lengthy safety car process. Debris flying everywhere, fluids being dropped onto the track as well. Not the best of Sundays for Klein. And once we cycled through the relatively lengthy safety car, it was with Amond in front of Giltrap and Pereira. Urechi, Josh Berry filtered through the rest of the pros at the front of the field. A great restart from the Flying Finn. Marco Giltrap did just enough to keep Dylan Pereira at bay until Henry Kwong made a slight mistake, slipped from the right side of the track to the left, and then as Roy Tang tried to take avoiding action, wasn't quite a Porsche-sized hole to fit through, and breaks the right front suspension. One driver slips through, that was Young Ho Jae, but Adrian De Silva, Lee Karong, and the other two Masters drivers, Jackie Wu and John Shen, on the binders, and an instant red flag from the track blocker. The race would not restart, and for the second time this weekend, Marcus Amond on top and extending the points advantage in the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. Anticlimactic finish, but let's catch up with our winners. Down with Steve.
Oh, Marcus Amond and I just looking at the 5-car pileup that you'd have seen a few moments ago on the big screen behind the camera, but luckily for you, Marcus, you were well clear of that. It looked like you got just the start you needed.
Yeah, of course, the most important part was the start and to get ahead. And then the pace was great. We made a few adjustments on the car yesterday. We worked really hard and the car was just mega. And I could push without taking too many risks, so it's great.
How close an eye will you be keeping on the races that happen in Sepang in a few weeks' time?
So I have Zonvo at the same time, so a lot of pressure on my side also, but I also keep an eye on how the team is doing and see how well the championship is going, because I cannot really control it. But yeah, I did the maximum job I could do. I think I have the 2 fastest laps also, so I did the job, I think.
Effectively, 1 race weekend left for you then. It's been a fabulous season. Just take this moment for us to reflect on your achievements and how you and the team have done up to this point.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been tough sometimes in quali for sure, but we always done the job in racing and on the start, so I'm really happy on that. And we improved a lot with the team also on the setup and on myself, because it's a new car with ABS, so there's a lot of things to learn, and we did it. So it's just getting better each weekend, and it's pretty positive.
2 races, 2 wins. Well done again.
Thank you very much.
It's a thing that I have heard, that there are some teams and drivers across the world that have figured this car out. Is BWT Shanghai Honda one of them? Clearly Marcus figured out something in the race, but he'll be racing at Zandvoort in the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup in August. That's why he won't be with us at Sepang. Fair for him to prioritize what is the top of the Porsche pyramid. Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia is where a lot of these drivers are building up for their own run in the Super Cup. Let's head back down to what should be a chat with our Pro-Am winner.
I'm with Chris Cha, winner of today's Pro-Am race. Chris, a lot happening on the track.
Yeah.
You may have seen the 5-car pileup.
Yeah.
How far away were you from that, first of all? You were well ahead of them, or?
Not very far. And today I start on PA, but I had a really good start, and but still in the PA. Next 3 lap maybe already 3 to 4 car retire, and I just try to avoid them because not that far, but very lucky I avoid all the trouble and keep the position. And but in the end, I think the safety car was a little bit maybe confused because the safety car just in front of me, and maybe he thought I was the leader. And after all the safety car procedure, and we don't have so many time already, so just drive the car back. Yeah.
I think it seems like a very satisfying weekend for you. What memories will you take away from Bangsaen?
Really good. 3 years ago I raced here and GT3, and I win double race, and this year and again, double victory, and very happy. And now I think it's the time to celebrate with the team. Yeah, very happy.
Which means you have to come back next year and look for the triple hat trick, or the triple double.
Yeah. I think I will finish the season this year and try to get a full entry, full season entry in next year. Yeah.
Good luck with that. We hope to see you. Well done.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sign me up, please, for more Chris Chia next year. Phantom Global Racing founder. Lots of experience racing in GT3 cars. It's not a step down into these GT3 Cup cars, to be clear. There is a skill required to master these cars, and I think Chris probably enjoying this experience. China GT champion in 2019 and 2022, alongside the Endurance Championship wins in 2020 and 2021. So like I said, lots of experience, and hopefully carries that forward into the next full year. He's looking forward. That's exactly what you want to hear. I don't know if the AM drivers can look so far forward, though. Outside of Ju Feng, our driver who joins us for one-off, former Carrera Cup Asia competitor from 2024, the most recent time that we saw him. But really did jump back in and with aplomb. And let's catch up with him after almost a perfect weekend in the open road racing, number 69.
Ju Feng made it once again in the amateur class. Congratulations. You look tired, and I don't blame you. How was it today?
Yeah, tough race, hot weather, you know. Try to keep safe. You know, the pros are fighting so hard and try to avoid all the damage. Yeah, luckily we're safe, and yeah, the weather is hot, and yeah, I tried everything already. Yeah.
You tried hard, but your team tried hard as well. You want to give a few words of thought to the people in the garage who worked on your car all weekend?
Oh yeah, definitely. Thanks for the open road racing, thanks to all the mechanics and my engineer Yannick and Piri, and thanks a lot for the weekend. Yeah.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you get back in the air conditioning?
You know what? Smoke some cigarettes, chill, and drink some beer. Maybe, yeah. That's it.
All right. Have some water too. That'd be good.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well done.
Yeah.
We don't condone all the choices made by the drivers, but he's ready to get into the cool of the air conditioning and get the ice pack on. And the Masters class is one where I think they are going to feel like they were the most robbed of actual racing, with the timing of the caution and then the red flag as well. Not ideal, but John Shen, Adrian De Silva, Jackie Wu. The championship fight is going to be very close between the three of them as we continue to rumble on. 5 races left, 2 events, taking us to Malaysia and Singapore. About 6 weeks separating each of them. Let's catch up, though, with our Masters winner down before the podium.
All right, our Masters champion for the weekend is with us. What was tougher, the drive or putting that suit back on?
Well, it's really hot, Steve. You know it's hot. Yeah, and we waited in the car for so long, and just boiling over. World champion, huh? Yeah, so what a race.
Actually, how much of an impact does it have on your overall ability to complete the race competitively if you're waiting on the grid in the hot sun for so long? I mean, out of everyone's control, but it's tough, isn't it?
It is tough. It's more like an endurance race now. You know, 1 hour endurance race or 1 hour stint. In under the sun. But then again, I guess it does affect a lot of drivers' reflexes, where this track really requires reflexes, and that's why you probably that's why there are so many incidences today.
I enjoyed the stories you were telling yesterday about the tussles with your competitors in yesterday's race. How close was it today?
Today I was in front. Had a very good start. I think John was 2 cars behind. I didn't see Jackie. Behind me was a Pro-Am Karong. And then that's how it was until we ended the race.
Well, congratulations. A well-deserved rest, and get some hydration on board.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a fair point. The fact that these drivers had to sit for so long before, and then even, I'm sure the safety car itself was lengthy. Felt pretty long for drivers with limited airflow, and as much as the air conditioning system helps, you probably sweltering in these humid conditions down there on the Bangsaen beach. Monsieur Bibendum is ready to celebrate. The benefit of this podium ceremony, unlike yesterday, there's no race tomorrow, so our drivers don't have to worry about their race suits. Hopefully we will see them spray the champagne, because at the end of a long race weekend there is really no better feeling. The highs are high in motorsport. Savor them every time you get to drink that success. And in this case, that means quite literally. What a great podium that is as well, by the way. The Thailand Super Series weekend will continue to roll on. Plenty more track action, however, for us here in Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia, attention starts to shift forward. I would assume some drivers, if they struggled this weekend, might do some heat training before we get to Sepang, because that is not going to be any cooler. The night race might be a bit cooler, yes, but those races during the day likely to be just as sweltering. The wind seems to have picked up quite nicely, just judging from the flags there. A nice up-close view of the podium as well for the fans. Let's head down to the podium. Let's start to celebrate the weekend and spray the champagne.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for round 8 of Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia 2026 in Bangsaen Street Circuit, Thailand. We would like to invite our award presenters, Mr. Michael Dreiser, Director of Porsche Motorsport Sales, together with Mr. Michael Becker, Managing Director for Porsche Thailand, together with Mr. Vincent Wang, Michelin Motorsport Manager Asia Pacific, to be our award presenters. For the winners for the Masters class, in third place, congratulations to driver number 969, Jackie Wu of Porsche Oriental Secret Team. Second place, congratulations to driver number 16, John Shen from Honda Motorsports. And winner goes to driver number 61, Adrian D'Souza from EBM. May I now kindly invite Mr. Michael Dreiser to please present the winner trophy. And may I invite Mr. Michael Becker to please present the second place trophy. And may I now kindly invite Mr. Victor Wang to present the third place trophy. May I invite all of our 3 award presenters to join our winner for the Masters class, a group photo. All right, everyone over to the camera. Big smile, thumbs up. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And it is time for the champagne. Congratulations again to our winners for the Masters class.
Might be one of the newer classes added last year for drivers 50 years and older, but those are drivers that have been around the series for many a campaign as well. Love to see them spray the champagne and getting to do so first. We did the pros first yesterday. Invert that order here on Sunday.
Join us on the stage once again as we present for the winners for the N class. On third place, congratulations to driver number 10, Simon Chan from Motorsport. Second place, congratulations to driver number 27, Yan Chuan from BWP. Winner goes to driver number 69, Xu Zhengwang from Open Road Racing. May I now invite Mr. Michael Dreiser to please present the winner trophy. May I now invite Mr. Michael Vetter to present the second place trophy. And may I invite Mr. Victor Wang to present the third place trophy. And now a group photo with all of the award presenters and the winners for the N class. Let's pose for the camera. Big smile, thumbs up. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And now it is time for some champagne.
Remember, Zhu Jiefeng does not score championship points. So Yan Chuan grabs 25 points in the championship hunt. This class still very competitive. And Roy Tang.
Our award presenters as we are to present the trophies to the winners for the Pro N class. On the second place, we have driver number 4, Lee Perron from Origin Motorsport. And the winner goes to driver number 79, Chris Chia from Phantom Glow Racing. And I'm pleased to invite Mr. Michael Dreiser to please present the winner trophy. And may I now invite Mr. Michael Beckler to present the second place trophy. And can I invite all the award presenters to join them for the group photo, please? For the cameras, ready? 1, 2, 3. And it is time for some champagne.
Just one more podium for us to celebrate in the pro class before we can start to focus forward to Sepang. But before then, Marcus Amon, the Flying Finn, once more on top in the pro class. Let's go down to the podiums.
On stage once again, as we announce the winners of the round 8 of Porsche ARbox Carrera Asia 2026 in Bangsaen for the overall class. Third place, driver number 77, Liu Ritchie from Phantom Glow Racing. And I would like to invite Mr. Michael Bessler to please present the second place trophy and the check. And may I now invite Mr. Victor Wong to please present the third place trophy together with a check. And let's invite all of our presenters for the group photo with winners for your overall class. Everybody big smile, thumbs up, and camera ready. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. It is time for the last round of champagne celebration.
Some well-earned sprays of champagne. We'll be back racing from Sepang International Circuit in August. Join us then, but for now, signing off for our team behind the scenes, Arjuna Kangipati. We'll see you next time.